Did you know the scammers stole over $1 trillion from consumers globally in just 1 year? Financial fraud has exploded to unprecedented levels, hitting everyone from young adults to retirees. In the U.S. alone, scams ranked in record $16 billion in reported losses in 2024, a 33% jump from the previous year. So why are scams getting so common? And how can even smart, careful people fall victim? Today we'll expose the tactics behind modern financial scams and, most importantly, show you how to spot the red flags, protect your family, and fight back against fraud. So, why are financial scams more common than ever? Our world is more connected than ever, and scammers are taking full advantage of that. Nearly every aspect of our lives has gone digital, which means the attack surface for criminals has grown exponentially. Scammers can reach millions through email, social media, and text at virtually no cost. With data breaches leaking personal information so much of our finances managed online, fraudsters have countless avenues to trick us. Technology has made it easy for bad actors anywhere in the world to pretend to be someone they're not and to target victims far beyond their physical reach. Perhaps, surprisingly, even intelligent and cautious individuals are vulnerable. Why? Because modern scams aren't just blatant cons. They're sophisticated psychological operations. Scammers prey on emotions like fear, greed, loneliness, and trust. They'll impersonate official authorities to scare us, or pose as caring friends to earn our confidence. They craft convincing stories and clone legitimate websites. Many use personal details, often gathered from social media or leaks, to tailor their approach, making the scam feel alarmingly real. In fact, advances in technology are supercharging this deception. Fraudsters now use artificial intelligence to create fake voices, images, and messages to look and sound authentic. For example, criminals have begun using AI voice cloning to impersonate your loved ones on the phone. It's a chilling new trick to ask for money by sounding exactly like someone you trust. Scammers exploit our financial worries and desires. Even savvy people may stay alert as fraudsters use psychological tactics to push the right buttons. Another reason scams are more common is sheer profitability. The Global Anti-Scam Alliance reports over 1 trillion lost to scams worldwide in a single year. So, the business of scamming is unfortunately booming. Organized criminal networks run boiler room call centers and elaborate online schemes because the payouts are enormous and the chances of getting caught are relatively low, especially across international borders. Meanwhile, everyday consumers are handling more of their banking, shopping, and investing online, which creates more opportunities for fraud. Mix in crises like a pandemic, which forced more people online and made them emotionally vulnerable, and rapid tech changes like cryptocurrency and peer-to-peer payments, and you have a perfect storm for scammers to thrive. Even banks and authorities are racing to keep up with the constantly evolving scam tactics. As we'll see, awareness and education are our best defense to this high-tech fraud era. Common types of financial scams. So, let's break this down. Online scams. These include the classic phishing emails, texts that masquerade as legitimate institutions to steal your login credentials. They also include fake investment platforms, for example, bogus crypto trading websites, and get-rich-quick schemes where con artists lure you to invest money into what turns out to be a phony account. Romance scams fall in this category too. A fraudster meets you on a dating site or social media, builds an online relationship, and then eventually concocts an urgent financial need or a hot investment tip to exploit your trust. These online scams are pervasive and costly. For instance, investment scams led to over $6.5 billion in reported losses in 2024. And romance scams cost victims more than $670 million last year. Clearly, the internet became a favorite playground for scammers. Phone and text scams. Even in our high-tech era, the telephone remains one of the top tools for fraud. Imposter scams are rampant. Someone calls or texts claiming to be a government official, a tech support agent, or even your bank's fraud department. They'll often scare you with something urgent. You owe back taxes. Your social security number was used in a crime. Your bank account is compromised. And pressure to send money or personal information. For example, IRS impersonator calls threaten arrest if you don't pay supposed tax debts immediately, often via gift cards or wire transfers. Prize and lottery scams are common via phone text too. Congratulations, you won $1 million. Just pay the processing fee to claim it. In reality, imposter scams are the number one reported fraud category, with over 845,000 reports in 2024, and nearly $3 billion in losses from scammers posing as government, bank, and family contacts. Whether it's fake IRS agents, a bogus Microsoft tech support call, or text from your bank. Remember, legitimate organizations won't demand immediate payment or info over the phone. Another one, banking fraud. Traditional banking schemes are still a major threat. One example is check fraud, which has seen a major resurgence. Scammers might mail you a fake cashier's check for something, like an overpayment or a prize, ask you to deposit it, then trick you into sending a portion back before the check bounces, leaving you on the hook for the money. Check washing is another tactic. Thieves steal checks from mailboxes and chemically erase or alter them to cash out money. Beyond checks, unauthorized bank transfers can happen if someone steals your debit card info or bank login. Account takeover fraud is when criminals gain access to your bank or credit accounts, often via phishing or malware, and then drain funds or run up charges. Always be wary of unsolicited communications asking for bank details or one-time passcodes. Your bank will never randomly call and ask for your online password or your two-factor authentication. Identity theft and account takeover. Identity theft is when someone steals your personal information, social security number, birth date, what's also called personally identifiable information, PII for those of us from the military. And they use this to impersonate you. They might open credit lines, take out loans, or file fraudulent tax returns in your name. Often this happens after data breaches or phishing attacks. Account takeover is a related form of identity fraud, where a scammer gets into one of your existing accounts, email, Amazon, bank, whatever, by obtaining your login credentials and then changes passwords or makes unauthorized transactions. A common example is SIM swap scam, where fraudsters hijack your mobile phone number to intercept two-factor authentication text and break into your financial apps. Identity theft can financially devastate and time-consuming to fix. So it's crucial to guard your personal data carefully. Social media and crypto scams. Social media has opened new frontiers for fraud. Social media marketplace scams involve fake sellers on platforms like Facebook Marketplace or Instagram, advertising goods or puppies or rentals that don't actually exist. Once you pay, the seller disappears. You may also see impersonation on social media. Scammer hacks or duplicates your friend's profile and messages you asking for money or urgent help. Meanwhile, the rise of cryptocurrency has led to crypto-related scams such as investment tools or trading programs that promise huge returns in Bitcoin or altcoins. A notorious trend is the pig butchering scam. Criminals often abroad contact you via WhatsApp or social apps, pretend to be friendly, sometimes even a romance angle, gradually gain trust, then lure you into investing in a fake crypto platform that shows big fake profits, convincing you to put more until they vanish with your real money. Also prevalent are celebrity crypto scams, where scammers use fake celebrity endorsements or even deep fake videos to promote bogus crypto investments. Always be skeptical of too good to be true. That's the golden rule of scams. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Opportunities on social media, especially those involving cryptocurrency or urgent requests from friends. Keep in mind, scammers often combine elements of these categories. For example, online romance scam may morph into an investment scam. Honey, invest in this crypto I'm into. Or a phone imposter might direct you to a bogus website to verify your information, regardless of the form. All scams ultimately attempt the same thing: trick you into giving up money, information, or access. So, let's look at how to recognize red flags to watch for. Scam tactics constantly evolve, but the warning signs of a scam are surprisingly consistent. Learning to spot these red flags can save you from disaster. According to consumer protection experts, here's some classic signs: urgency and secrecy. Does the message or caller pressure you to act immediately? Scammers often insist that you act now or else, whether it's paying a supposed debt today or claiming a prize right now. They also may want you to don't tell anyone or keep it a secret. Don't hang up, don't discuss it with others. It's confidential. This is a huge red flag. Legitimate organizations won't mind you taking time to think or consulting with trusted people. Urgency plus secrecy, be very suspicious. Unusual payment requests. Scammers love forms of payment that are hard to trace and recover, such as gift cards, wire transfers, cryptocurrency, or cash. If someone told you to pay a bill, fee, or transfer by buying gift cards and reading out the codes, or by sending Bitcoin or any other crypto, or by wiring money to a strange account, it's almost certainly a scam. For example, no government agency or reputable business will ever demand payment via gift cards or crypto. That's a common scammer tactic. Also, be wary if you're overpaid with a check and asked to send money back. As mentioned before, that's a fake scam. That's a fake check scam. Too good to be true offers. If you're offered something that's way beyond normal, like a guarantee investment with 100% returns, a huge lottery win when you don't remember entering, or free money out of nowhere, it's probably too good to be true. Scammers dangle attractive rewards, easy money, prizes, high returns, cheap products to lower your guard. Always ask yourself, does this make sense? Why would a random person give me money? Why would a legitimate investment have zero risk? Huge payoff? Ground yourself with a healthy dose of skepticism whenever unbelievable offers pop up. Next, we have requests for personal information or access. Now, be careful or cautious if you're asked to provide sensitive data like your social security number, bank account, routing numbers, passwords, one-time verification codes, or remote access to your computer. Never do that, boomers. Legitimate institutions, banks, IRS, Social Security, do not call or email out of the blue asking for full account password or Social Security. Similarly, if someone contacts you claiming to be tech support and asks a remote into your computer or asks you to install an app, big red flag. Boomers, pay attention. Never share personal information or financial info unless you initiated the contact and are sure who you're dealing with. Inconsistencies or mistakes. Many scam communications have telltale signs like poor grammar, spelling, odd email addresses. The sender's email might be a random Gmail or misspelled company name, or generic greetings. Dear customer, instead of your name. The story they tell might have holes or unrealistic elements. If you notice odd inconsistencies like a call from the IRS, but the caller ID shows a regular cell phone number, or an email from Amazon that doesn't come up as an official @amazon.com address, stop. Double check. These small details can reveal a scam in progress. So, in summary, anyone asking for urgent, secret action, especially involving unusual payment methods, personal data, should set off alarms. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, too perfect, pause. Verify before you proceed. So how do you protect you and your family? You're not powerless against scams. Just take some proactive steps. You can dramatically reduce the risk for yourself and your loved ones. Here are some key ways to stay safe. Use strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. Many scams aim to steal account logins, so make their job harder. Use long, unique passwords for each account. A password manager can help generate and remember them. Enable multi-factor authentication on all your accounts. That means even if a scammer somehow gets your password, they also need the second factor, like a code from your phone, to break in. Multi-factor stops a huge number of account takeovers. Yes, it's an extra annoying step, but it's one of the best defenses you have. Also, never reuse banking passwords elsewhere, and consider using biometric locks, fingerprint, Face ID on finance apps for extra security. Freeze your credit card and set up monitoring. If you haven't done so, consider placing a security freeze on your credit reports with the three major bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Credit freeze is free and prevents anyone from opening a new credit in your name without your authorization. It's a great safeguard against identity thieves trying to open fraudulent loans or credit cards. You can temporarily lift the freeze whenever you need to apply for credit. In addition, use free credit monitoring or identity monitoring services. At a minimum, check your credit reports regularly. You're entitled to a free report annually from each bureau via the annualcreditreport.com. Many banks now offer free credit report updates and basic monitoring as a perk. Take advantage of those. Early detection of new accounts and inquiries can limit damage if your identity is misused. What I usually do with the credit reporting agencies is every 4 months, I think is what I usually do, is I will request a free credit report from each of the bureaus. So you get one every year from each agency. But if you do it once per quarter, you're keeping up with it. So TransUnion in the first 4 months, Equifax in the second 4 months, and Experian in the third 4 months, and then guess what? 4 months, 4 months, 4 months. You're not waiting that full 12 months to get a full report from everyone. Verify sources before acting. This is huge. When you get a suspicious call, email message, do not automatically trust it. No matter how official it looks or sounds, instead independently verify if your bank calls about fraud on your account. Hang up and call the number on the back of your bank card to see if it's real. If you get an email with a link to reset your password, don't click it. Go directly to your official website and app yourself. If someone claims to be a government agency or company, look up the entity's official contact info and reach out to confirm. Never click unknown links or download attachments from unsolicited messages. They could be phishing or malware. Taking a few minutes to verify an offer or threat through a trusted channel can save you from falling into a trap. Remember, no legitimate representative will mind you verifying their identity. Only scammers push you to blindly comply. Use secure payment methods and be cautious with money transfers. Whenever possible, use payment methods that have fraud protection. For example, credit cards have strong dispute rights. If you get scammed, you can often dispute charges and avoid liability. In contrast, wire transfers, gift cards, Zelle payments, cryptocurrency, cash, these are like sending cash. Once sent, it's nearly impossible to recover, so be very cautious. With anyone asking you to pay in these ways, if you're buying items or services online, stick to known platforms or those with buyer protections. Avoid paying up front for too good to be true deals. For online sellers or strangers, consider using an escrow service or at least verify their reputation. And if a family member asks for money via text, call them directly to confirm it's really them. Their account might have been hacked. By being mindful of how you pay, you can avoid irreversible losses. I know for me personally, I've had friends' accounts hacked on Facebook many times, and those people have asked me for money. And as I tell all my friends, sure, I will send you money without a problem. Message me, let me know. But I'm going to verify it's you. I'm going to ask you questions that only you and I will know. And it's not going to be something in the past week. It's not going to be something you're going to find on social media. So have those questions ready, stuff that only the two of you would know. And the same goes for your family. So educate your family and your friends, your kids, seniors, parents, grandparents. Scammers target the most vulnerable, which often means elderly folks and sometimes young people too. It's critical to talk openly with your family about scams. Teach your children and teenagers about online safety, not sharing personal information with strangers online, being skeptical of easy money schemes, and never giving out passwords or codes. With seniors, have regular conversations about common scams like IRS, medical fraud, grandchild in trouble calls, and especially those where on your computer you get those "you've been infected by malware" pop-ups. Click this button to be in contact, or call this number to get in contact. Those are scams. Worst case, take your computer to a local repair shop and have them scan it. Odds are there is something that got on your computer, either through your browser or something you downloaded. So, encourage them that it's okay to hang up and say no to unsolicited offers. You might even set a rule. If any urgent money request or scary call happens, pause and call a trusted family member before taking action. Create a culture of openness where no one is embarrassed to double check a weird call with someone else. By implementing these protective measures, you're building a strong defense. Think of it like reinforcing your home. Strong passwords and multi-factor are like deadbolts on your doors. A credit freeze is like locking the back gate. Verifying contacts is like using the peephole before letting someone in. And family education is like having everyone in the house know where the alarm is and how to use it. No system is 100% foolproof, but these steps will drastically cut down your risk and help you sleep easier at night knowing you've made yourself a harder target. So, in the inevitability, what do you do if you've been scammed? So, despite all the precautions, the worst happens. You realize, I've been scammed. First, take a deep breath. You're not alone. And there are concrete actions you can take immediately to limit the damage and possibly recover your losses. Here's what to do. Step by step. Stop all communications and payments. If you suspect a scam while you're in the middle of it, cut off the contact right away. Don't send any more money. If you were speaking with a scammer, hang up or stop messaging. Cease any further payments or info sharing. Time is critical. Scammers often try to keep you on the hook, so disengage immediately. Contact your bank, credit cards, payment apps. If you sent money or shared financial information, call the relevant financial institutions right now. Explain that you were scammed and ask if they can stop or reverse the transactions. For instance, if you wired money via your bank, the bank's fraud department might try to recall the wire, though success isn't guaranteed. If you paid with a credit card, you can dispute the charge and report it as a fraud. Credit companies have zero liability policies. If it was a gift card payment, contact the gift card's customer service immediately and report the card as used in a scam. Sometimes, if the funds haven't been spent by the scammer yet, the company can freeze the balance. For services like Western Union or MoneyGram, alert them of the fraud. They may flag the pickup location. The sooner you alert these companies, the better chance you have of blocking the scammer from getting the money. Also, if you have given them bank or credit card numbers, ask your bank to monitor for fraud activity and possibly change the account number. Secure your accounts and your personal information. Scammers often not only take money, but also sensitive info. If you clicked a suspicious link or gave remote access to your computer, immediately run a reputable antivirus, anti-malware scan on your device and change your passwords that might have been compromised. If you provided passwords or login credentials, change these passwords, starting with email and banking accounts. If identity information was stolen, security number, consider placing a fraud alert or credit freeze with credit bureaus to prevent new accounts being opened. Check your bank credit card statements for new unauthorized changes, charges, and report them. Essentially, do a security sweep. Update your passwords, enable two-factor authentication, inform your bank of any access to accounts, and make sure the scammer can't further penetrate your digital life. Report the scam to authorities. Reporting not only helps potentially catch the perpetrators, but it can also help with recovery and documentation. In the U.S., report the incident to the Federal Trade Commission at reportfraud.ftc.gov. The FTC database is used by law enforcement agencies to track scams. Also consider filing a report with your local police, especially if you lost a significant sum. While they might not always investigate internet fraud deeply, having a police report can help for insurance and identity theft recovery. If the scam was online, you can file a complaint with the FBI's Internet Crime Complaints Center, ic3.gov. For impersonation or telephone scams, you can also report to the FCC or the Do Not Call registry to log offending number. If it was an investment scam, you can report to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, or FINRA. Sounds like a lot, but there are resources to guide you, which we'll mention in a moment. The key is don't stay silent. Reporting not only helps authorities build cases, but can also provide you with official documentation that you are a victim, which might be useful if, say, your identity was misused. Learn and take preventative steps for next time. Once you've taken the urgent actions above, it's important to reflect and reinforce. Scammers often target people again. Cruel as it is, there are often recovery scams where someone offers to help you get your money back, but is actually another scammer. So, be extremely wary moving forward. Educate yourself on how the scam worked. Adjust accordingly. If your email is hacked via phishing link, tighten email security. If fake tech support got you, implement call screening and device security. It's also beneficial to talk about it with someone you trust or a support group. Scams can be emotionally devastating, and sharing your story may help you and others. Remember, being scammed is nothing to be ashamed of. These criminals are professionals at deception. What's important is to use the experience to armor yourself going forward. Finally, if you or a family member fell victim, consider seeking credit monitoring or identity theft recovery services if the situation warrants. The U.S. government sites, identitytheft.gov, offers a step-by-step recovery plan for identity theft cases, and numerous nonprofit resources like Identity Theft Resource Center can provide guidance and emotional support. Speaking of which, let's highlight some reliable places you can turn for help. So, real-life case studies. It's easy to think I'd never fall victim to that, but real scam victims often say the same thing before it happened to them. Show how convincing scams can be. Let's look at two real-world examples of people who were tricked and what we can learn from their stories. Case study number one, the tech support pop-up scam. Rich, a Vietnam War veteran from California, was using his computer one day when a message popped up on his screen. It warned that his computer was compromised and he was under investigation for unlawful uploads. The pop-up gave a phone number to call immediately for help. Panicked, Rich called the number, thinking he was speaking to legitimate authorities. The scammers on the other end instructed him that to clear his name, he needed to wire money and grant them access to his bank account so they could supposedly secure his funds. Over 3 months, these fraudsters strung him along and siphoned off $1.7 million of his savings, his entire nest egg. By the time Rich realized it was a scam, it was too late. He never recovered a penny. This heartbreaking story shows how fear and urgency were used as weapons. A fake security alert created a sense of immediate danger, and being under investigation made Rich fear serious consequences. The lesson here: legitimate tech support or government agencies will never ask you to wire money, much less on the spot, or hand full access to your bank account. If you see a scary pop-up or receive an alarming call, don't trust the contact info provided in the message. Instead, independently find the official support line. If it came to Microsoft, go to Microsoft website. Look for their help number. Also remember that error messages telling you to call a number are almost always scams. Real system warnings never require you to call. some random hotline. Rich's story, though tragic, can help others recognize the hallmarks of a tech support scam. Romance scam. Connie, a widow from Long Island, joined a Facebook dating group. After losing her husband of 45 years, she soon met a charming man online who claimed to be an engineer working overseas. He showered her with affection and understanding at a time when she was very lonely. Over about 6 months, this online Prince Charming gained Connie's trust. Then the request started. He needed money to finish a project and avoid dangerous people, all under the guise that it was for future together, for their future together. Eager to help someone she thought loved her, Connie ended up sending him nearly $470,000 of her savings. It got nothing in return but heartache. To make matters worse, when Connie realized she'd been scammed, she went on Facebook seeking support from other scam victims. There, she was contacted by people claiming to be investigators who could help her recover her money with no upfront fees. Desperate, she engaged with them, only to find out they were scammers, running a recovery scam, preying on people who had already been defrauded. Connie had lost even more money trying to get help. Her story is unfortunately not unique. Romance scams exploit a person's emotions and can happen to men and women of any age, though older adults are especially vulnerable. The takeaway? If an online love interest never meets you in person and repeatedly asks for money, it's a scam. Almost always a scam. Never send large sums to someone you haven't met, no matter how sincere they seem. Also, if you do get scammed, be careful about unsolicited offers to help recover funds. Always verify who you're dealing with. Connie bravely shared her experience to help others, emphasizing that anyone can be deceived when emotions run high. As she said, she was educated and still got duped. Scammers are that slick. But knowing her story, we can be more alert to the warnings she eventually spotted in hindsight. So, resources you can trust. Federal Trade Commission, FTC. FTC is the U.S. government consumer protection agency. Their website, consumer.ftc.gov, has a wealth of articles and tips on current scams, how to spot them, and how to report them. If you've been scammed, you can file a report at reportfraud.ftc.gov. They also maintain a do not call registry to reduce telemarketing calls, though scammers ignore it. It's still good practice to be on it. The FTC doesn't resolve individual cases, but your reports help them and other agencies crack down on scammers. Another resource, Consumer Federal Protection Bureau, CFPB. The CFPB is U.S. government bureau focused on financial products and services. They provide education on avoiding financial fraud and have highlighted common scam warning signs, as we discussed. Their site, consumerfinance.gov, offers guidance on how to protect your money. You can submit complaints about financial products if a bank or a company allowed fraud, for instance. The CFPB often shares up-to-date scam alerts and resources to consumers. Identity Theft Resource Center, the ITRC, is a nonprofit organization that specializes in helping identity theft and fraud victims. They offer free assistance via their toll-free hotline, 888-400-5530. You could call them if your identity was stolen or you were scammed. They have advisors who walk through what steps to take, like how to freeze credit, how to deal with creditors. They also have a live chat and a ton of online sources. The ITRC help is free of charge. They're grant funded to support victims. Sometimes just talking to someone who understands these crimes greatly reduces the stress. AARP Fraud Watch Network. AARP isn't just for seniors. Their Fraud Watch Network is a free resource open to everyone. They have a helpline at 877-908-3360. You can report scams or get advice if you think you're being targeted. AARP sends out bi-weekly watchdog alert emails on new scam trends, and they host a peer support program for scam victims who need emotional support because the psychological impact is real. Their website, aarp.org/fraud, contains articles and even scam tracking map where you can see and report scams in your area. This is an excellent resource, particularly for older adults. Banking alerts and security services. Most banks and credit card companies offer free fraud alerts and security features. Use them. Log into your online banking and enable notifications for large transactions or changes to your account. Many banks can send a text or email anytime a purchase above a certain amount happens. If a new payee is added. This way, if unauthorized charge occurs, you'll know right away. Additionally, banks have their own fraud departments. Don't hesitate to reach out if something seems fishy. For instance, if you get a weird call from your bank, call the number on your card and ask for the fraud team. If it's legitimate, some banks offer two-factor authentication for logins. Definitely enable that. Definitely. Also consider the digital wallet apps, Apple Pay, Google Pay, for transactions. They tokenize your card and you can be safer when swiping your actual card, which can be skimmed. In short, make full use of tools your financial institutions provide. Secure apps and software. There are various apps that can help protect you. For example, call blocking apps like Nomorobo or Haya can screen out known scam callers or alert you if a call likely is spam. Many smartphones have it built in, the silence unknown callers feature. While not foolproof, because you might miss legit calls, it can cut down on random spam calls. Anti-malware software for your computer and mobile devices is important. Keep it updated so it can catch phishing sites and malicious downloads. A password manager app can generate strong passwords and alert you if a website you used was breached. Also, familiarize yourself with tools like your email's spam filters and report phishing features. They help train the system and protect others too. Essentially, a bit of cybersecurity hygiene goes a long way. Update your devices, back up important data in case ransomware strikes, and be cautious about the apps you install. Stick to the official app store to avoid malware-laden fake apps. Finally, remember that knowledge is power. Along with these resources, stay informed. Subscribe to Scam Alert newsletters, and when you hear about a new scam on the news, talk about it with your family so everyone knows. The more we share information and tools with each other, the harder it will be for scammers to find unwitting victims. So, think about this. Financial scams and frauds are an unfortunate reality of our time. And they've been an unfortunate reality since the dawn of time. But with awareness and the right precautions, you can avoid being a victim. Takeaway: stay vigilant. Trust your instincts. Never be afraid to slow down and verify something if it doesn't feel right. Scammers rely on us being too intimidated or rushed to think. So let's deny them that advantage by spreading knowledge and confidence. Remember, protecting yourself from scams isn't just about your money. It's about protecting your peace of mind and the people you care about. So please, share this video. Talk about this with friends and family, especially those who might not be up to date on the latest scams. A simple conversation could save someone from a devastating loss. Now, let me know below. Have you ever fallen victim for a scam? What tipped you off, or what step did you take to stay safe? Share your experience. Share tips. Let's help each other. Share knowledge. Talk to each other, with each other. Talking openly about scams, and talking about how you've been taken advantage of, what you did. We can take the shame away and give others the confidence to recognize fraud before it's too late. Stay safe, stay informed, and remember, if it's too good to be true, It probably is. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day.